My parents, who both came to Australia separately, my father as a migrant worker and my mother, when she got married for the first time, they lived in Brunswick, and that's where I was born. And then they started looking around for houses to buy, and I don't know quite how, but they settled on St Albans. So they bought a house in St Albans, and that's where I grew up basically, and lived most of my life. When we were about 8 years old, we went on a holiday to Bosnia to visit my mum's side of the family, and it ended up being a 4-year stay. I was there from the ages of 8 to 12 years old, and it was quite a magical time for me. At the time when I was young, it felt quite confining, and I actually remember being desperate to get out. And if somebody said to me then, you're going to end up living in St Albans again as an adult when you have a choice, I would have called them crazy right then and there. Well, my novel, it's The Good Daughter. It's a young adult novel. It's about a character who's got similarities to myself. She's also of Bosnian background. And I wanted to sort of tell stories about things that I knew. It's about Sabiha, who's a girl like me, growing up in St Albans, and I sort of told some of my stories about, having a mother who's a sufferer of a mental illness, and everyone thinks, everyone understands that mental illness has stigma attached to it, but there's a whole new stigma attached to it when you're from a migrant background, especially from Bosnian background. In Yugoslavia was communist, and people who were different were isolated and sort of excluded from the community. And so the community doesn't really know how to deal with people who are different, and we sort of went through a lot of difficulty because of that. And also some of the things that I sort of went through, like, being bullied, and the first time I was bashed, which was, a great experience to give to my character, because it was something that was the most traumatic thing that happened to me as an adolescent. One of the things also that I had to go through is kind of have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder because of where you come from and the way that it's viewed. Like, if you look at the media images, a lot of the time when St Albans is mentioned, it's, some sort of a gang thing or crime thing. And it's starting to change now a little bit, and I'm excited about that, because it's something that I'm really bothered by. And that's something that I sort of hoped that my novel would impact on, would change that perception and open it up, and make it not so negative, but give it a bit more of a positive spin, where it's like, yes, we are from the western suburbs and there are certain issues that we face as a result of that, but there is so much more to it than the stereotype that you expect. One of the things that we missed when we lived in the inner cities is we missed access to a lot of the foods and things that we're used to. So when we came back here, we were just so excited to see, it's a shop called Next Mart, and it's where they sell a lot of the food from former Yugoslavia. So we just love going in there and just getting all sorts of stuff. And we have a whole routine, like, we buy cevapi from this place, and then we buy the Turkish bread from the kebab shop, which is supposed to be the best Victorian kebab shop. And then we, buy the kefir from Next Mart. We were buying, the lollies and the chocolates that we're used to as kids, and just always have sweets in the house, never short of those. And that's one thing that we really missed. And it's also great going into these shops, because you have all these conversations with people and you're building up this community spirit, which I don't know if it was renting or if it was in a city, we sort of didn't have as much. We sort of kept a lot more, kept ourselves back. And whereas now, because we've made a commitment to here, this is where we're going to live, this is where our children are going to be brought up, we're interested in what's going on outside our front door, and we're interested in making connections with people. And it just sort of makes you feel more like it's home. It's a place that matters to you.